Previously on Dodgers Blue Jays, the Blue Jays open a can of whoop-ass. Addison Barger comes off the bench and his teammate's couch to hit a grand slam. Blue Jays take game one. Derek Jeter then says this in the post-game show.
Yamamoto threw a complete game. He's not going to throw one tomorrow night. He's not.
Yamamoto looks at that and goes,
Mama was a hoe. I was a hoe.
Bro throws another complete game in Derek Jeter's face. With the help of the Jonas Brothers, anything is possible, including shutting down a loud and dangerous Blue Jays offense. Series tied. Let's go back to America. So thank you for being here. Subscribed or not, if you haven't joined the 49% Elite Humans, consider hitting that button if you like the videos, as we got Oppenheimer taking on the biggest psycho in baseball, who's apparently the neutral ground between God and the devil. So there's that. Let's get it. First up, George Springer. The last time this man was playing a World Series game in Dodger Stadium, he basically guaranteed himself never being able to live anywhere near LA ever. Not that he would ever probably want to, but yeah, if George Springer, anyone from the 2017 Houston Astros, decided to live in LA, they'd be treated like Casey Anthony is in South Florida, or really anywhere. Screw her. Anyway, Tyler Glasnow says screw you with this 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Sit down, 8-pitch first inning. Then Shohei rips the second pitch he sees for a double. Okay, well, could have been worse. Could have been a homer. Now you just got to face two other MVPs and one of the greatest catchers ever. Have fun? Well, Scherzer actually does have fun. He gets them all out, go to the second. Bo Bichette leads things off with a base hit. Dalton Varsho takes ball 4, except it's called strike 2. Yet somehow he doesn't hear the call, so he thinks it's ball 4 still. He tosses his bat as if he's about to take a little stroll to first, which then leads Bo at first to also think so. Smith is like, wait, he's really off the hey, Glasnow, throw over there. He's really off the bag. Bam, free out for the Dodgers, thanks. And even though the Jays would follow this up with a walk and hit, they get nothing. Strikeout, line out. So the first 3 hitters of this inning get on, they get nothing. This definitely isn't nothing. Teoscar Hernandez tosses his bat for a very different reason. Smacks this slider out and into the left field bullpen. He's fired up. So is LA, getting that seed dumped all over his face. Shohei wants that seed too. Give it to him. Bam, gone. He smokes a low curveball for a double his first at bat. Now a high fastball out for a home run. His 7th of the postseason. 2-0 Dodgers. 2 batters later, Freeman walks and guns for second. That had to be just a shock factor move, trying to catch the Jays sleeping. This is literally the second Dodgers stolen base all postseason. They had 1 before this. 1. And of all people running, Freddie, bro had 6 stolen bases during the regular season. This had to just be a, let's give it a shot. Why not? And I thought he looked out here. I don't know. Maybe not. I think his foot might have been on as the tag was applied, whatever. Hey, it worked. The shock factor, and it almost works in the best way. The coolest Will Smith in Hollywood sends the next pitch in a right for a base hit, but Barger, fresh off his teammate's couch, makes a perfect throw, plenty in time. He says, you can steal second, but you're not getting home. Long legs are valuable, but not that valuable, I guess. That was a 99-mile-an-hour throw by Barger, by the way. 99 miles an hour. Vladdy leads off the 4th with a walk, checks his swing on this curveball. Then Bo hits one to Edman, who misplays this. It gets under his glove. It's a play that really any second baseman makes like 9 times out of 10, but it gets through. So it's 1st and 3rd, nobody out. 2 batters later, Alejandro we talked about this. Come on, editor. There we go. He looks Oppenheimer dead in the face and says 2 can play that game. He sends this first pitch curveball out for a bomb of his own to left center. Just like that, Blue Jays have the lead. That's how it starts. Nobody was hitting the ball hard off Glasnow until then. A walk and a measly little ground ball is what leads to the big hit. And they weren't done. Barger smacks this ball for a single. Then Ernie Clement doesn't hit this ball hard at all, but same result. 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Jimenez crushes one to deep center. Plenty deep to score Barger, but Clement also tries to move up and does, but it's damn close. If he was out, good chance Barger's run doesn't count, but he's in there. 4-run inning for the Blue Jays. That 2-0 Dodger lead felt like 5-0 up to this point. Now they're down by 2. Scherzer follows this up with a 1-2-3 inning, basically the polar opposite of how Glasnow's 4th inning went. Then Nathan Lucas follows that up with a walk, which means he's gotten on base 11 games in a row. Bro just wants to keep giving me reasons to say his name. Jays don't score in this inning though, but the Dodgers do. Max Scherzer gets an out to start the 5th, but with Shohei coming up, the Jays want a lefty in to face him and Freddie. And this wasn't the time for Scherzer to curse out his manager and threaten his life if he took him out of the game. He knew the situation, but it turns out the Jays might have been better off if he did do that. Scherzer may not have gotten Ohtani out at all in this game, but it doesn't matter who you put out there at this point. Righty, lefty, put a guy out there who throws with his dick. I don't know. Won't matter. Shohei's going to do Shohei things. Double in the gap. Kike comes all the way around to score. Then 2 batters later, Freeman says hi. He knocks this ball down the line. Shohei scores easily. Tie game. The lefty who came into the game to get the lefties out only gave up hits to the lefties. His 1 out was to a righty.
Ironic.
Louis Varland comes in, gets Will Smith looking and throws a shutout 6th inning, but not without some theatrics. Everything has to be dramatic. With 1 out, Teoscar Hernandez smacks a base hit. With 2 outs, Kike Hernandez does the same thing. You can't get him out, but you can get the other one out, apparently. Vladdy fires a 1-hopper across the diamond to nail him at third. Great play. Well, then George Springer has to leave the game. He feels something after taking a swing, nothing good, so he's got to go, and that sucks. Hopefully he can last for the rest of this series, but that did not seem good. I can't think Dodgers fans have much sympathy though. They start cheering as he leaves the game. At least a lot of them did. At least enough of them for the announcer, who is actually, again, the Dodger play-by-play guy during the regular season. If you didn't know, there was enough cheering for even him to acknowledge it. Ty France comes in to replace Springer, who hasn't played at all this postseason yet. Not one time, and here he is. His at-bat goes about what you'd expect. He worked a full count, but it's not enough. Next hitter right back to the pitcher for 2. Out goes Wrobleski. In comes Treinen to face Vladdy, who somehow knocks this pitch into center field for a hit. Bro almost single-handedly creates a run here. He heard the fans cheering on Springer leaving the game and must have been like, hell nah. After that hit, he then does this. After Bo Bichette knocks a ball down the line, Vladdy somehow comes all the way around to score. I love the way he literally scored too. He just slapped home plate. Just coming through. Don't mind me. Thanks. Well, Shohei sees this and goes,
"No, you're not gonna call me no bitch, 'cause I'm not none of these girls. I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm not
Ohtani, on a center cut fastball. Blast one. Ohtani's it. Shohei. 5-5.
You're watching a unicorn, people. A freaking unicorn. This is ridiculous. Just when you think he's done it all, just when you think he can't possibly up what he's already done, every freaking time he creates some new record and ups it. So that's 2 doubles and 2 homers in this game. Yeah, the last time someone had a 4 extra base hit game in the World Series was Joey Dixoncock back in 1906. Okay, you at least for a second believed that was really who it was. It was Frank Isbell. You probably haven't heard of him either. But the point being, the last time this happened was 6 whole years before the Titanic. Hitler hadn't even begun his art classes yet, for Christ's sake. It's been a long time since someone's done this. Well, Shohei has now. This game is tied, and it stays tied. Into the 9th, Roki Sasaki on the mound. The runners are having a real fetish at getting thrown out at third base this series. Heads up play by Tommy Edman. He gets a big out for Sasaki, who walked a couple of hitters in this inning. So up to the plate comes Miles Straw. The significance of that, you ask? I know you didn't ask, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The Blue Jays only acquired Straw to begin with in a trade last offseason in order to free up money to have some extra for Sasaki, who of course said, "That's so nice, but like I don't care, he chose the Dodgers." Well, now the two face each other.
It's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one.
Sasaki gets Straw to ground out onto the bottom of the 9th. They intentionally put Shohei on first base with nobody on base. I mean, what else are you going to do at this point? And just like they drew it up, they throw him out at second, but only because he was originally safe. He just went off the bag. So putting him on for nothing works. On to extra innings we go. The chaos continues with 2 outs and nobody on. Ty France, the guy who hasn't played all postseason, who was thrown randomly into this game because of an emergency, bloops a base hit. Then Nathan Lucas hooks this into the corner and right. Pinch runner David Schneider busting his ass around the bases. He heads for home, but Teoscar Hernandez and Tommy Edman team up for an epic relay to get him at home by about 10 miles. What is happening? Well, Will Smith and Teoscar Hernandez get on for Tommy Edman to pop out. We go to the 11th inning where the Blue Jays go 1-2-3, which is the first 1-2-3 inning by Dodger pitching since the 3rd inning. Bottom of the inning, first 2 guys are set down. Up comes Shohei. They intentionally put him on again. He doesn't run this time, but does get to second safely thanks to Mookie with his base hit. For a split second, this seemed scary though. Dave Robertson, the trainer, went out briefly just to make sure Ohtani was fine. He looked like he may have pulled something or felt a cramp going to second, but he was smiling. He's fine. Up comes Freddie with a chance to win it, and he flies out. On to the 12th inning we go. Kirk walks to lead it off. He's taken out for a pinch runner. Jays just in bunt mode right now. Just move him over. Straw tries to bunt, fails miserably, but then watch this. Ernie Clement grounds out for the second out of the inning, but Tyler Heineman, the pinch runner for Kirk's big ass, is in scoring position. Well, they intentionally put Andres Gimenez on base before Davis Schneider hits a weak grounder. So weak, all Muncy can hope for is this somehow working. And it does, except it didn't. Upon review, he was clearly safe. But I don't think I've ever seen this before. It almost worked. Again, it doesn't though. So it's bases loaded and in comes Clayton Kershaw. Hollywood down the street can only dream of cooking something up like this. He comes in and what could be the final time ever, gets out of it. Nathan Lucas hits a weak grounder. Edmund flips to first. That's 3 outs. Inning over. His wife in the stands is losing her mind. She can't handle the emotions. Dave Roberts, the manager, his wife is hugging her. I mean, we're living in a movie. This is insane. Dodgers go down 1-2-3 in the 12th. On to the 13th inning we go. And this is where we get to the Dodger relievers we were never supposed to see. Guys who were just meant to rot out there. But here's the funny part, and a big way of just seeing how baseball is today. Again, we're at a point in the game where all the most valuable Dodger relievers have already pitched. So it's desperation time. They're just throwing out the last bit of arms that they have, and one of those arms being Edgardo Henriquez, who hadn't thrown one pitch this postseason. He hasn't thrown a pitch in a month, and that's for a reason, right? Again, he's just a desperate arm they gotta have. He must suck. Oh, well, here's 102 to get Isaiah Kiner-Falefa striking out. I've watched this guy pitch before, but I never really truly noticed it until this game. Henriquez is literally a skinnier Brustar Gratterall. They're the same person. Gratterall is another Dodger reliever. For those who don't know, he hasn't pitched much the last few years because of injuries, but Henriquez, this might actually just be Gratterall, and he just lost some weight and got maybe taller. Looks just like him. He throws 102 just like him in the most casual, easy way you'll ever see. Go to the bottom of the 13th. Tommy Edman, they call him Tommy Tanks, aka Tommy Two T's. Again, I call him Tommy Titties. He leads off the 13th with a double, then gets moved over to third on a bunt. This game is over, right? They intentionally put on Ohtani for the third time. They do the same with Mookie. They purposefully load up the bases to get the lefty-lefty matchup with Freeman, who just gets under this. Almost hits a walk-off grand slam. Just misses. On to the 14th inning we go. Henriquez still in the game. 1-2-3 inning. Andres Gimenez sit down. Jason Bateman is still at this game. Shout out Jason Bateman. He's at like every Dodger game. Then Will Smith hits a ball hard. And off the bat, this didn't necessarily seem gone, but his reaction made it seem like it was 10 rows deep. And he must know better than I do. So I was like, oh, this game is over, until I realized, oh no, that ball isn't gone. The entire Dodger dugout went from, oh, we're so up, to I want to end it all. Kershaw full on jumped the railing. He was ready to celebrate. But nope. Well, then Muncy walks, and Teoscar knocks another hit. Wait, okay, this game's about to end. Never mind. Edmund pops out. Miguel Rojas grounds out. Clement purposefully puts this on a hop for Vladdy at first. On to the 15th inning we go, and in comes Will Klein. Will freaking Klein. You have never heard of this man in your life, and there's a reason for that. This guy has been a part of 3 teams just this year alone. He started out with the A's, got designated for assignment, and then got traded to the Mariners just to rot in AAA, where he was awful. So then they were like, okay, bye, and designated him for assignment too at the very end of May, which a couple days later is when the Dodgers picked him up. And it's so weird. And about 15 innings with the Dodgers in the regular season this year, he actually put up pretty good numbers, but in about 22 innings in AAA with the Dodgers, he was awful. So I guess he just hates AAA or the minor leagues. Wander Franco, take notes. Point is, this man, who was clean shaven when this game started, was not on anyone's radar at any point. Like Henriquez, he hadn't pitched at all in the postseason. It's been about a month since he last pitched at all, and here he is pitching in a World Series game in the 15th inning. The announcer said this, and it's the perfect way to describe it. The situation Klein was in had to feel like the weirdest dream ever. I mean, like, what is happening? Well, he comes out firing. First hitter he faces, sit down. Nathan Lucas, ground ball to Mookie. That's 2. Vladdy hits one up the middle, obviously an infield hit that Miguel Rojas still sees the 1% chance he could throw him out. And look at Vladdy. He's like, get the hell out of here. That's what Will Klein then said to Falefa. 97 low, see ya. Go to the bottom of the 15th inning. After Alex Call grounds out, the Blue Jays for the 4th time put Shohei on intentionally. At this point, I don't think anyone had gotten on base 7 times in a World Series game. Well, now make that 8 times. Ohtani just continuing to make his own record like it's nothing. He's gone on base 8 times, and half of them are the Jays just putting him on. Like, you can't make this shit up. You just can't. We're watching a freaking video game character. Well, Freddie comes up, and for the 3rd straight at-bat, hits a ball in the air, each one getting hit progressively harder, but he just can't hit this one hard enough. On to the 16th inning, we got a fruit tray being passed around in the dugout. Vladdy's taking his fair share. This woman's looking like she's ready to go out after this. Meanwhile, Klein has a 1-2-3 inning. Miles Straw, sit your ass down. Well, that's exactly what Eric Lauer says to Will Smith, and Max Muncy sends them both down swinging before Teoscar Hernandez hits a ball that looks pretty gone off the bat, just like Will Smith's. He looks like he thinks he's got it just for all of us to get rickrolled yet again. When this ball was caught, I was just like, oh, okay, so the baseball gods are just trolling us now. That's all this game is. Okay, got it. Will Klein stays hot. He's never thrown more than 2 innings in his career. We'll make that 3 innings. Another 1-2-3 inning, another strikeout, his 4th strikeout. And watch the way the inning ends. Bang, right at him, nothing he can't handle. Screw you. Eric Lauer comes out of the game for Toronto for another lefty, Brendan Little. They're going to need a lot more than just a little from him tonight, am I right? He gets the first 2 hitters out just for the trolling to start again. He strikes out Tommy Edman and gets Miguel Rojas to ground out before Alex Call knocks a base hit, and Shohei intentionally gets put on first base. They actually pitched to him, but also not really. 4 straight pitches out of the zone. So the Dodgers once again have the winning run in scoring position, but Mookie Betts pops it straight up. We've gone through 17 innings. This game is going to 18. Jeffrey Epstein and Wander Franco have now tuned out. There have only been 2 World Series games in history to go 18 innings. 7 years ago, the Red Sox were playing the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, and it was also a Game 3, and it ended on a walk-off home run. 7 years later, that's exactly what's happening here, at least almost. We're on the 18th inning, and this is the most trouble Klein has had so far. He walks Vladdy Jr., tries to pick him off at first, and even the cameraman is asleep at this point. The camera, for some reason, just pans to the 3rd base umpire, like, okay, glad to know he's all right. And up to this point, for yet another reason why this game was on freaking meth, we're in the 18th inning, and not a single double play had happened yet. Not one for either team. We had Shohei Ohtani getting on base 9 times before any double play was hit in a World Series game before GTA 6. Oh, and we also had Yoshinobu Yamamoto 2 days after throwing a complete game going out to warm up and get ready to come into a game before GTA 6. Like, what is going on? Well, again, no double plays, yet we're in the 18th inning, but this looked like a double play. Over to second for 1, Rojas to first for 2, except he's called safe. On replay, I thought he was going to be called out. He looked kind of out. The announcers, they thought the same thing. They started talking about how this is going to be the first double play just for the call to be upheld. And then Klein walks Varsho, throws a wild pitch, so it's 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Klein falls behind Heineman, 3-1 in the count, just for him to take his massive balls and slam them on the table. 97 inside, called strike 2, before he drops a curve for a swing and a miss. That's 4 shutout innings out of the bullpen for Will Klein. This dude nobody knew existed hours ago is becoming a hero right in front of our eyes. Cue the other hero.
Freeman. Los Angeles. Freeman sends a fly ball to center field. Varsho's going back before the catch strikes me. Freeman has ended it. It's a repeat hero with the last word on a Game 3 classic.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Monica Lewinsky in her prime can't top this. This has to be the craziest World Series game of all time. I think it is 100%. It goes to the Dodgers. They love winning World Series Game 3s in 18 innings on walk-off home runs. Very specific niche, but they love it. Mookie is then asked when he goes to sleep tonight who he'll be thinking about, and asked if it would be Freddie or Shohei. And Mookie says,
when you go to bed tonight, put your head on the pillow tonight, what will you think about Shohei? Will you think about Freddie? What jumps out at you?
I'm probably not going to think about another man while I'm in bed.
Yes, I've been waiting on this.
I like this.
I've been waiting on
that's what they all say. Talk to you after Game 4. Love you, bye.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.